He is the real-life inspiration for the character Chan Ho Nam in the movie series Young and Dangerous. By the age of 15, he had become a big boss in the Causeway Bay district. At his peak, he commanded over 200 subordinates. After retiring from the triad life and entering the entertainment industry, he accumulated tens of millions of dollars in gambling debt. Louis Koo helped him pay off this entire debt, earning his immense gratitude. Today, even though he has retreated into private life, stories of him still circulate in the Jianghu underworld. What is the truth behind his legendary and tumultuous life? Let's explore the life of the infamous triad boss and celebrated actor. Ng Chi-hung was born in late 1953 in Baihang, a district in eastern Hong Kong. Compared to the city's prosperity, Baihang was a slum where residents lived in flimsy shacks of tin and wood, enduring extremely harsh conditions. Both of Ng Chi-hung's parents were manual laborers. To support their large family, they had 8 children, with Chi-hung being the 5th. Raising so many children was difficult. Even though competition wasn't as fierce back then, providing basic necessities was a huge struggle for 2 ordinary laborers feeding 10 mouths. As a result, Chi-hung had to drop out of school after the 2nd grade and spent his days wandering the village and streets. At that time, triad forces were violently widespread, especially in the slums. With his parents preoccupied with work and unable to supervise their children, Chi-hung quickly joined a gang. In 1966, at just 13, he moved to the Causeway Bay area and joined the Wo Hop Tu Triad Society. The Wo Hop Tu was extremely powerful, largely thanks to the famous figure Salo Tai, also known as Chan Tai. During this period, the notorious $500 million inspector Louis Locke was still in power, and Chan Tai controlled many of his territories, further strengthening the Wo Hop Tu. After joining, Chi-hung benefited from the gang's influence. Although he wasn't tall, he was an excellent fighter and fiercely loyal to his brothers. In that era, the ability to fight was key to advancement, just as Triad elder Chan Waiman once said, "If you're going out into the Jianghu, you must know how to fight." Chi-hung understood this deeply. During that time, he honed his fighting skills, transforming himself from a scrawny boy into a strong, muscular gangster. The fight that truly cemented his reputation was likely the assassination attempt on a senior member of the Wo Xing Wo gang. Chi-hung was 14 and had been in the gang for only a year when Salo Tai dispatched him to teach the Wo Xing Wo boss, Si Din, Four Eyes, a lesson. Chi-hung immediately accepted. He and his young crew tracked Si Din for days. However, Si Din was an adult, a burly, well-known figure, making the 14-year-old's task seem hopeless. Though fearful, Chi-hung knew if he didn't fight, he would never earn his place in the Jianghu. After much deliberation, Chi-hung decided to prepare machetes with his brothers for the operation. On the scheduled morning, he and 3 others waited at the rendezvous point for Si Din. The weapons were supposed to be delivered later by a girl to evade the police. However, Si Din arrived before the weapons. Unarmed, Chi-hung grabbed a concealed knife and lunged, wounding Si Din. As anticipated, Si Din fought back with powerful force, making Chi-hung and his group flee. Then Si Din's subordinates rushed over. One of Chi-hung's brothers was caught and viciously beaten. In that moment of crisis, Chi-hung returned alone, charging into Si Din's men to save his brother. However, 2 14-year-olds were no match for a group of over 20 large young men. Chi-hung was quickly knocked down and beaten. Fortunately, the police arrived just in time to intervene and rescue them, prompting Si Din's gang to flee the scene. In those days, Triad members valued loyalty and brotherhood above all else. Because of his fighting prowess and unwavering loyalty, Chi-hung's name skyrocketed after that battle. He quickly built a strong reputation and attracted many followers. He was always generous with his earnings, sharing them with his brothers, which rapidly advanced his position. By the time he was 15, he had a firm foothold in Causeway Bay and had become a minor leader. To make his mark, Chi-hung got a powerful eagle with spread talons tattooed on his right arm. In 1976, at 23, following numerous intense gang wars to seize territory, Chi-hung became the undisputed boss of the Causeway Bay district under the Wo Hop Tu. He controlled most of the area's gambling dens and brothels. With hundreds of subordinates under his command, his influence was immense, and everyone in his territory showed him respect. At that time, triad groups were involved in almost every sector. For instance, film companies shooting locally had to pay protection money to the controlling gang or face endless problems. The easiest solution was to hire a powerful triad boss to protect the film set and mediate disputes with other gangs. This was akin to wealthy families in ancient times, hiring bodyguards to protect their assets. In the 1970s, TVB invited Ng Chi-hung, a very influential triad boss, to protect their film crews. This work gradually established his connection with the entertainment industry. After befriending TVB crew members, Chi-hung took on several minor acting roles to earn extra income. Subsequently, Shaw Brothers, TVB's sister company, noticed his martial arts skills and hired him as a fight choreographer for their films. Thus, while protecting film sets, he also worked as a choreographer, giving him two stable sources of income and a comfortable life. He had material wealth, but his emotional life remained solitary. When fate intervened, however, everything fell into place naturally. One day, while Chi-hung was having afternoon tea, a waitress approached him. She was merely a server, but her demeanor was natural, her manner gentle and soft-spoken, and her clear, delicate appearance created the image of a virtuous woman, the kind of daughter-in-law any traditional parent would want. Although Chi-hung was a triad member, he held traditional family values. After a persistent pursuit, the waitress became his girlfriend. In 1980, after his girlfriend gave birth to their daughter, they got married. Despite his comfortable life after marriage, Chi-hung continued his path in the underworld. He carried his two signature cleavers with him for years, causing his wife to live in constant fear. She could only feel safe enough to sleep when he returned home. As the saying goes, how can one walk by the river often and not get their shoes wet? Indeed, while his wife was pregnant with their second child, Chi-hung was jailed for malicious wounding. Whenever his wife and children visited him, he felt deep shame. During his imprisonment, the family's fortunes plummeted from comfortable to poor. Chi-hung lost nearly everything. His subordinates scattered and his territory was taken over by others. It was true that when the person leaves, the tea gets cold, and as the character Blackie said in Young and Dangerous, no one out there keeps their word. To make a living, Chi-hung picked up his two familiar cleavers and returned to the Jianghu. Although he managed to improve his dire financial situation, he still wanted to switch to an honest profession, determined not to repeat past mistakes. In 1987, the film City on Fire by directors Lam Ling Nam and Lam Ling Tung began production. To add authenticity, they needed former triad bosses as consultants. They needed extras to play gang members and teach the actors triad slang. At the time, the arrest of Hung Hua-yin, second dragon head of the Sun Yi-on triad charges, meant no major boss dared to consult. Eventually, Lam Ling Nam, a longtime friend of Chi-hung, sought him out for the job. Chi-hung happily accepted out of friendship, intending only to help complete the film. But this inadvertently marked his official entry into the entertainment industry. Chi-hung taught the main actors, including Chow Yun-fat and Tony Leung Ka-fai, the nuances of triad slang, and brought over 200 of his subordinates to work as extras. He also played a triad boss in prison in the film. Additionally, he helped his wife's friend get the opportunity to sing the theme song, Light of Friendship. When City on Fire was released, it grossed over 30 million and was highly praised. A huge success both critically and commercially. Chi-hung's performance made a deep impression, and he learned much about film production. From then on, he formally entered the entertainment industry. 1990 was a major turning point in Ng Chi-hung's life. He decided to leave the underworld. His wife was pregnant with their third child, and he no longer wanted his family to live in anxiety. Leaving the life of a big brother wasn't easy, until he ran into trouble again and was arrested. His heavily pregnant wife tearfully pleaded, "If you die, what will become of me? What will I do alone?" Although outwardly arrogant, family was Chi-hung's weakness. His wife's words made him realize he could not continue this life. After his release, he was determined to leave the Jianghu and focus on his film career. In 1996, Chi-hung reached the pinnacle of his career. The Young and Dangerous film series premiered that year and became an instant street phenomenon. Before filming, director Andrew Lau Wai-kyung actively sought out Ng Chi-hung. inviting him to play the role of Big B and hoping he would also advise on the film. Andrew Lau knew that the comic book Teddy Boy, the source material, was inspired by Chi Hung's personal life. The story of Chan Ho Nam was based on Chi Hung's own path in the Jianghu, and even the name of Chan Ho Nam's girlfriend, Seo Kitba, Little Knotted Uptail, was taken from Chi Hung's nickname for his wife. Though Chi Hung did not play Chan Ho Nam himself, the role of Big B in the Hung Hing society carried the strong impression of his youth, allowing audiences to see a glimpse of the real Chi Hung's wilder days. The first film earned over 20 million in box office revenue, despite taking only 15 days to film. The second part was even more rushed, shot in just 11 days, yet earned $22 million. The third part continued the immense success. Watching the autobiographical films premiere and become huge hits, Chi Hung was not only satisfied, but a little self-congratulatory. He was famous and had earned a massive fortune, realizing that a simple life was the happiest compared to his past years living on a knife's edge. In 1997, a financial crisis nearly bankrupted Chi Hung's company. To save his happy life, he relied on his bad habit of gambling to try and turn things around. Instead, after several bets, he lost all his savings and accumulated millions of dollars in debt. His family was threatened by loan sharks. When news of his massive debt spread, the very brothers who had sworn loyalty suddenly changed their attitude and began to distance themselves. Some didn't even want to see him. It was then that Chi Hung realized the promises of brotherhood in the Jianghu were lies. Only self-interest was eternal, and human nature was the same. Only when you face true adversity do you see the truth of the people and events around you. As Chi Hung prepared to sell his house to pay his debts, Louis Koo stepped in to help. He not only helped Chi Hung pay off his debt, but also gave Chi Hung's wife a check for $500,000 for family expenses and offered Chi Hung roles in his own films. When Chi Hung's situation improved and he tried to repay the money, Louis Koo refused, saying the help was unconditional. Later, when people asked Chi Hung why Louis Koo helped him, he simply said they had many things in common. In truth, Chi Hung had often helped Louis Koo when the actor was young and ran into trouble in the Jianghu. Louis Koo's act was simply a repayment of that debt of gratitude. Chi Hung cherished that kindness, and to this day the two remain close friends. After this incident, Chi Hung finally had a breakthrough. He stopped dreaming of getting rich quick and was determined to earn an honest living for his family. However, as the Hong Kong film industry began to decline, his acting career suffered. To make ends meet, he humbly accepted commercial performances. Although he usually played fierce triad bosses on screen, in real life he is a model husband and a good father. When talking about his stormy past in the underworld, he expresses regret, saying that if not for the need to support his 8 siblings, he might have gone to university and lived a different life. For Chi Hung, his current life is deeply satisfying. After all, despite his lack of formal education, he managed to make a name for himself in that era. His life is truly considered a legend.